Hello interwebs, welcome to Let's Fix Computers. I've got my Switch in today because I've got Joy-Con drift. And sod's law says that, of course, the moment I bring this thing into the shop, it's not doing it. So yeah, however, when it kicks in, it seems to be on the right stick more, and basically the camera will just start spinning wildly. And my girlfriend, who actually is the owner of the Switch, she's been trying to play Monster Hunter Rise and having a terrible time with the Joy-Cons. Now, we've got a Switch Pro controller, which kind of alleviates this problem, but obviously the Pro controller ain't a lot of good if you want to use it handheld. So yeah, I really wanted to show an example of it occurring before we started the repair. However, it's intermittent, and it only does it when you're not ready. So whatever. Anyway, let's take these Joy-Cons apart and change out the sticks in them. I have preemptively purchased a couple of new sticks from eBay. I think it was about £6 for a pair. I have not done any other research on this in true Adamant IT fashion, so I'm just going to blunder my way through this. I don't think this is going to be particularly difficult, but we'll soon find out. Let's start out with the problem one. So the screws on these are tri-wing screws, which Nintendo have historically used as a security screwdriver. So I'm just going to take these guys out, and we'll have a look and see what we're up against here. By virtue of the fact that the two replacement sticks have just got two screws on them, I'm guessing this isn't going to be particularly difficult. Okay, that's those screws out. Does this guy just sort of pry off now? Just going to have a look at that. There's some, oops, went in a bit deep there. There's some movement. There we go. Aha. Okay. Right, so we've got a battery in there. The battery's bigger than I thought it would be. 525 milliamp hours. I expected a tiny little sort of 100 or 200 milliamp hour jobby. I guess it's got to power all the haptic stuff though. Interesting. Right, so can I want to disconnect these flex cables to give myself more room to move, but it looks like I've got to dig in a bit further first. So let's pop that battery out. That's the battery, or the cell to be technically correct. So looks like I need to take out this cover. We've got a screw there, a screw there, screw there. And it looks like this middle bit will come out. And it looks like that's going to take the right trigger with it. So let's go that far. I'll switch over to, looks like we're over to 00 Phillips now. Okay, and just going to have a quick nose here just to see what's coming off. Okay, looks like it's just clipping in there. There we go. Where's this antenna going? That's going that way. We'll unhook him. And now we're just held on by that trigger wire. There we go. Some tweezers in there. That's going to be a pain in the backside when it comes to reassembly, I'm sure. There we go. And there we go. I think we're going to be done in 10 minutes. Fancy that. Our bumper's just come off, but that's no big deal. Usually bumpers like this can be a pain in the bum to refit. However, these controls are really simplistic. I mean, the right bumper and the right trigger here, they're literally just tactile buttons. On an Xbox controller or something like that, we'd have analog triggers to contend with, and it would be a lot more fussy. But it looks like this is going to be pretty easy. Let's pop that guy out. There we go, that's our old one. And there's a bit of twistiness there. I'm looking for just sort of signs of wear and tear just to see if I can determine what a worn out one looks and feels like. There's a little bit of rotational movement on there, but I'd expect that on an analog stick. Let's break out one of the new ones. Yeah, the new ones have got just a little bit of movement on them as well, so that doesn't seem unsurprising. And it looks like the new ones I've got, yeah, they are different. You can see the shape of the body is different, but functionally identical, I'm sure. All right, let's stick this guy in. I could disconnect those two flexes going over to the back cover, but in the amount of time it will take me to do that, I'll have these two screws in and we'll be reassembling, I think. That's that. Right, I need the bumper and the spring. Whoops. Oh, there it is. Oh, thought I'd lost the spring then. That would have been a disaster. Okay, how does that goes on there. Where is that mounting? Yeah, that kind of just hangs there. There's not really any particular thing that locates that in place. It looks like it's reliant on this middle layer being in there, but okay. That's probably going to come out half a dozen times while I reconnect the trigger. What if I do that? If I hold that like that, does that give me enough? Oh, it doesn't quite give, just about. It's hard to show it on camera, but I think I can just get that connected. This is absolutely the worst part of this job. Oh, it's in. I think it's in. Close it, lock it. Ah, there we go. Whew. Okay, so I've got that trigger flex back into that connector now. That was a horrifying job, but we did it. Put that in there. Okay, right. Click, 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 click. Those triggers and bumpers are working right. Now I've just got to reroute this antenna around this battery compartment again. And that goes there, it looks like. That should do it. Right, let's get some screws in there. Okay, right, let's just do a quick check. Make sure all the buttons are actioning. They should all work because we haven't done anything with them. That guy feels good. Nice. All right. I'll reconnect the cell. That went in there. And now I've got to tweezer the power cable back over. There. And I think I can close that up now. Let's try and thread this in. Bottom in first. Click, 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 click. Good. All right, let's put these screws in and then we'll test to see if this one works. And all going to plan, we'll do the other one, which is probably going to be basically the same, just a slightly slightly different internal layout, but the concept will be the same, I'd imagine. Looks smooth. That feels nice and responsive. It feels nice and new. Does actually feel a little bit nicer than the old one did. It's stiffer. It's got more spring to it. It jumps back to the zero position better. Nice. Feels good. All right, op success. Let's do the other one. Oh, getting just a bit of resistance on that one. Let's try somewhere else. There we go. Whoop. And it's exactly the same on the inside, just mirrored, which is basically what we expected. Come on. Don't make me work for this. Boink. There we go. I'll do. There we go. Right. Oh, we've got different screws. Oh, no, it is the same. I saw screws there. Yeah, okay. We've got 2 screws there and there instead of having them up here. That's interesting. Okay, so the screws are in a slightly different location, but it's the same number of screws. I'm guessing once we take this out, though, we'll see exactly the same kind of dealio with the analog stick. Right, let's have a feel. Whoop, there we go. No antenna on this one. I'm guessing the antenna for the other one, that must be the NFC antenna, because the NFC is in the right stick and we're on the left now. I'm surprised there's no just general Wi-Fi, not Wi-Fi, Bluetooth antenna though. Maybe that's built into the board somewhere. Who knows? Either way, this one is significantly easier to open up because of the different layout. We've got a much longer cable on the right trigger, so that's not gonna be such a ball ache to refit. So let's disconnect that boy. Get out! This little black bit of shroud there, that's just a cover that just helps stop dust and crud from getting in. How effective it is, I don't know. And bam. Screws. I'm tempted, part of me wants to say sort of, oh, well, this isn't so bad at all. I expected this to be a lot harder. I'm glad that these things are fairly fixable. But that would give way to a big rant on the fact that the Joy-Con drift problem shouldn't exist in the first place. Or rather, Nintendo should have fixed it a long time ago. And I think I could go on a big old rant about how unacceptable the Joy-Con drift situation is, but I don't think there's any value in that. If you're watching this video with intent to fix your own Joy-Con, I think you're already part of the choir on the stick drift issue. But hey, at least on these, it is actually fairly easy to do. So if you have a Nintendo Switch and you've got stick drift, this is not a big deal. I would absolutely consider this to be something that you could DIY with little to no repair experience. There are some repairs where people go sort of, oh yeah, you could do that yourself. And I'm like, yes, but no. I wouldn't recommend attempting it unless you've got experience disassembling stuff. But this, it's a bit small, it's a bit fiddly, but this isn't too bad. And it's an awful lot better than spending heckin' £70 or $70 or whatever a new set of Joy-Cons cost. And then buying a Pro controller anyway, because the Pro controller is better. Whoop, there we go. That's that guy in. Flip that guy over, sit him in place. That's looking good. I didn't pay very much attention to where that flex goes. Ah, underneath is the answer to that. There we go. You see that flex just jumped underneath the plastic, so it's not going to get trapped in the case anymore. That was good. Right. That goes there. And that goes there. There we go. And back cover back on. Okay. And that is our second stick working. Perfect. Now Mario can continue to run around the town in his midlife crisis of wearing boxer shorts and a bride's gown. A veil even. Excellent. This is the only correct outfit for him. Excellent. Good. Well, that was significantly easier than I thought it was going to be. I'm actually quite glad about that. Should have done it ages ago, as soon as the problem started occurring. So yeah, if you've got some Joy-Cons with some dodgy sticks in them, get yourself on eBay, order a couple of new sticks, job's done. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. As always, my support links are down in the description below for my Twitter, my Patreon, and my Discord. I've also got Instagram now, which I should add in there. So if you like that kind of thing, you can also follow me there. Failing that, stick around for the end card, and I will see you guys in the next video. Cheerio, bye.